The Guardian in the ocean moved again. Slowly, its body began to sink beneath the waves. Within minutes, it disappeared deep into the Pacific. All sensors tracking it went offline. Submarines were sent to follow, but none returned. It was gone, just like it came, without warning. In the command center, General Marcus watched the screen go dark. "Where did it go?" he asked sharply. Dr. Mia Chen shook her head. "Somewhere we can't reach. But I don't think it left us. It's hiding, waiting." Meanwhile, in space, the remaining alien scouts watched Earth from above. They were silent, their ships like statues. But inside, they were busy, scanning, recording, searching for answers. The humans had shown something unexpected. Ancient technology, powerful defenses, and a guardian unlike anything they had seen before. It wasn't part of Earth's current technology. It was something much older. The alien commander turned to his crew. "Send the probes. We need to find the source. If this world has more of them, we must know where they sleep." 5 dark probes detached from the scout ships. They were small, fast, and almost invisible. Each flew silently into Earth's atmosphere, entering different regions: the Amazon jungle, the Himalayas, the Sahara Desert, the Mariana Trench, and one toward Antarctica. On Earth, strange things started happening. People near ancient places began reporting whispers in their minds, soft voices, in languages they didn't know but somehow understood. Some saw visions of war in the stars, of Earth burning, and of bright beings falling from the sky. In Antarctica, Director Hale stood in front of the sleeping figure inside the pod. It hadn't moved in over 30 years, but now lights were blinking on the walls. The pod was glowing softly. The energy in the room was rising. "It's waking up," one of the scientists whispered. "No," Hale said quietly. "Something is calling it." He turned to the soldiers in the room. "Lock down the base. No signals in or out. If the enemy finds this place, we lose everything." But it was too late. The alien probe had already entered the ice caves, moving through cracks and tunnels no human had used in decades. It saw the energy. It saw the pod. And it sent a silent message back to the scout ship. The alien commander received the signal and smiled for the first time. "Found one," he said. "The sleeping one." Inside the base, the pod's lights turned red. The armor on the figure inside began to shift and tighten, like it was preparing for battle. The ancient being's eyes opened, glowing white. The lights in the base exploded. The power went out. For a few seconds, there was only silence. Then the figure inside the pod spoke for the first time in a voice that echoed in every mind in the room. "Intruder." The alien probe tried to escape, but it was too late. A beam of energy shot from the pod, cut through the walls, and vaporized the probe. Nothing was left. Director Hale stood frozen. "It's active, fully active." He turned to a secure radio and pressed a button hidden under the console. "This is Hale. Guardian 2 has awakened. Repeat, Guardian 2 is awake." Back in the command center, General Marcus received the signal. "How many of these things do we have?" Dr. Mia whispered, "I don't think they're ours. I think they were left here, planted, like seeds, waiting for the right moment." Marcus nodded slowly. "And now the moment has come." In the Amazon jungle, another alien probe discovered a strange structure, a broken stone temple covered in plants. It looked ancient, but inside the temple, hidden beneath layers of stone, was a metal core, pulsing slowly like a heartbeat. The probe scanned it. The pulse quickened. Something inside was waking up. In the stars, the Alien War Council received the latest report. The scout fleet had confirmed Earth was hiding multiple guardians, old machines, powerful beings, hidden for centuries. One of the alien leaders growled, "They are not primitive. Someone helped them." Another asked, "Do we strike now?" The crowned commander shook his head. "Not yet. First we find the maker of the Guardians. Then we destroy them all. Back on Earth, people everywhere began seeing the same dream. A voice spoke in the sky. A symbol of light appeared in the clouds. A countdown began, not on screens, but in their minds. 7 days. 7 days until the real enemy arrives. And Earth must decide, stand together or fall forever. The night sky over Earth looked peaceful, calm, and full of stars. But far beyond what human eyes could see, something was coming. A large alien fleet was moving fast through deep space. Their ships were black, shaped like arrows, and completely silent. They didn't speak. They didn't send messages. They just moved forward with one goal: to take over Earth. Nobody on Earth knew yet. It all started quietly. On a cold evening, at a deep space monitoring station in Alaska, a young technician named Alex noticed something strange on the radar screen. It was a signal, repeating every 9 seconds. At first, he thought it was a glitch. But when he zoomed in, the pattern was clear. It wasn't random. It was like a code. He called his senior, Dr. Mia Chen, who worked with him for years. She checked the data and her face turned pale. "This is not a natural signal," she said slowly. "This is intelligent." They quickly informed the Space Command Center. Within minutes, the news reached the top scientists and military leaders around the world. The signal was coming from deep space, and it was getting stronger. The world was confused. Was it a message? A greeting? A warning? No one knew. But the governments decided to stay silent. Do not reply. Do not send any signals. The order was given. They watched and waited. And then, the first images came from a secret satellite that was tracking the source. It showed something terrifying. A massive fleet of alien ships moving in perfect formation, heading straight for Earth. Panic started to spread behind closed doors. These ships were huge, bigger than anything humans had ever built. They didn't match any known design. Some looked like flying pyramids, some like floating fortresses. There were hundreds of them. The Space Command named them the Swarm. World leaders came together in a secret meeting. They decided not to tell the public. Not yet. They needed time to prepare. Earth's best minds were brought together. Scientists, generals, engineers. A new plan called Project Skishield was created. It was Earth's only hope to build a defense in time. Meanwhile, the alien fleet kept coming closer. They passed the moon without stopping. Satellites started going offline one by one. Earth was being watched. One alien drone even entered Earth's orbit and flew over the Pacific Ocean at high speed. It disappeared before the jets could reach it. Inside one of the alien ships, the creatures were watching Earth closely. They didn't speak like humans. Their language was a mix of light pulses and telepathy. They studied Earth, its defenses, its weapons. One of them, a tall commander with 4 arms and glowing eyes, whispered something to the others through their minds. "They are weak," he said. "This will be easy." But something didn't feel right. On one of the small planets they passed near Jupiter, their sensors picked up something strange. A signal that wasn't human. It was a warning from another race, long gone. The message said, "Do not go near the blue planet. It hides more than it shows." The aliens ignored it. They believed Earth was unprotected and alone. Back on Earth, strange things started happening. A scientist working on Project Skishield discovered a secret file buried deep in an old military server. It was labeled Scout Woarning, Leveal 10. When she opened it, her hands began to shake. It was a report from a deep space mission years ago. A probe had been sent far beyond Pluto and had captured an image of a similar alien ship, but much smaller. The file said, "Ship destroyed. Human response unknown. Possible contact classified." That's when the truth hit her. The massive alien fleet that was coming now might not be the main force. What if this was just a scout group, just the beginning? The screen in front of her blinked red. The fleet had entered Earth's orbit. They were here. In the control room, alarms blared. Fighter jets were launched. Lasers and missiles were powered up. The sky turned dark as the first alien ship appeared above New York City. It blocked out the sun. People screamed and ran, but no attack came yet. The alien fleet was watching, waiting, measuring Earth's reaction. In space, behind the fleet, in a region hidden from all human satellites, something massive moved in the darkness. Something 10 times bigger than the fleet. Something ancient. The alien commander received a silent message from the deep. He froze. His eyes widened. The message said only one thing: retreat, it is not alone. And then, everything changed. The story had just begun. The night after the Guardian rose from the Pacific Ocean, Earth didn't sleep. People all over the world were glued to their screens. Social media, news channels, radio. Everyone was talking about the same thing. The massive alien ship that had vanished in a flash of light. The glowing figure that had destroyed the ship stood motionless in the ocean, half of its body underwater. It didn't speak. It didn't move again. But its presence changed everything. Inside the Earth's Space Defense Command Center, General Marcus stood with his arms crossed, staring at the screen that showed a live feed of the Pacific. Next to him, Dr. Mia Chen sat at her computer, running scans on the metallic figure. Her eyes were wide with disbelief. "This thing, it's not from Earth," she said. "But it's not from their side either. The metal, the energy. I've never seen anything like it." General Marcus nodded slowly. "Then where did it come from?" Before she could answer, a low alarm rang across the room. The alien fleet had started moving again, not toward Earth, but away from it. They were retreating. Not all at once, but ship by ship, a slow, organized pullback. "They're scared," Maya said softly. "That Guardian, it wasn't just a weapon. It was a message." But even as some alien ships left orbit, a few stayed behind. 3 scout ships remained above the planet, floating near Earth's upper atmosphere. It was clear now. They were watching. In a dark room aboard the lead alien scout, the commander sat in deep thought. He had seen the Guardian. He had felt the power it used, and he had heard the voice from the ancient being hiding in the shadows of space, the voice that had warned him to leave. But he couldn't. Not yet. "This planet," he said to his crew, "is hiding something old. Something dangerous. We must understand it before our kind returns in full force." At the same time, in Antarctica, the abandoned military base that had sent the mysterious signal was now active. A secret team had entered the facility. Soldiers, scientists, and one man known only as Director Hale. He was old, calm, and carried secrets that even General Marcus didn't know. Director Hale walked down a long hallway, past locked steel doors, until he reached a large chamber deep underground. Inside, surrounded by thick glass walls, was a pod. Floating inside the pod was a humanoid figure, asleep, breathing slowly, covered in armor similar to the Guardian in the ocean. One of the soldiers stared at it. "Sir, is that one of them?" Hale didn't answer. He looked at the pod, and then at the glowing markings on the walls. "It's not alien," he finally said. "It's something older. Something that's been protecting Earth long before we even knew it needed protection." The soldier looked confused. Then, "Why is it sleeping?" Hale's eyes narrowed. "Because it's waiting. For a signal." Meanwhile, in space, the last of the retreating alien ships sent out a hidden transmission, not to their main fleet, but to something else, something farther away. The message was simple. Guardian confirmed. System defense active. Scout unit compromised. Awaiting high command. That message traveled across the stars, through black space, until it reached a cold, metallic planet with no sun. There, deep inside a dark fortress, a massive alien war council received the signal. One of the leaders, A giant creature with a head shaped like a crown and skin like dark glass read the message. He slammed his clawed hand on the table. "They woke it up," he growled. "We were too early. The scouts failed." Another leader hissed. "Then we send the Reapers. Let the humans learn what true war looks like." But the crowned one raised a hand. "No, not yet. This world has protectors. Old ones. We must find out who gave them the guardians. Someone else is helping the humans. Someone we haven't seen in a long time." Back on Earth, something strange was happening. The oceans began to glow faintly at night. Ancient symbols appeared on mountain rocks. People around the world started having strange dreams. Dreams of tall beings made of light, and a voice that whispered, "Prepare. The real enemy has not come yet." Dr. Mia noticed a pattern in the data. The signals from the satellites, the energy readings from the Guardian, even the strange weather changes. All of it was building up to something. General Marcus looked at her. "What are you saying?" "I think," she paused, "I think Earth wasn't meant to win this war alone." In the deep ocean, the Guardian turned its head, slowly for the first time since its arrival. It was awake now, and it was not alone. That number echoed in minds all over the world. No one knew where it came from. It wasn't from a machine or a satellite. It wasn't from the internet or any known signal. But people heard it, in dreams, in silence, even while awake. Dr. Mia Chen hadn't slept in 2 days. She sat in front of her screen, watching global energy patterns. Around the world, ancient sites were lighting up. From deserts to mountains to oceans, strange signals were rising. Something under Earth's surface was responding to the countdown. "These Guardians," she said to General Marcus, "they're not just weapons. They're part of something bigger, a system, a network." Marcus rubbed his forehead. "How many are there?" "We don't know," Maya replied, "but at least 5, maybe more. And they're starting to wake up." In Antarctica, Guardian 2 had stepped out of its pod. It was tall, armored, glowing softly, and completely silent. Soldiers watched it carefully, weapons in hand, but Director Hale ordered them to stand down. "It's not a threat," he said. "It's a protector." The Guardian walked outside, into the frozen snow. It looked at the sky. Then it vanished. A flash of light, and it was gone. Back in the Pacific, sonar picked up movement deep underwater. Guardian 1 was moving again, heading toward the Mariana Trench, Earth's deepest point. Something was down there. Meanwhile, the alien scouts were busy. Though some ships had left orbit, one still remained hidden near the dark side of the moon. Inside, the alien commander studied Earth's signals. 7 Earth days, he said. Then the main force will arrive. His second-in-command looked worried. "Should we attack now? Stop the Guardians before they all wake?" "No," the commander said coldly. "If we strike now and fail, we risk alerting the ones who built them. We wait. We watch." On Earth, the world's governments finally started working together. For the first time in history, all military forces were sharing information. A secret alliance was formed. One goal, one mission: prepare Earth for war. They called it Operation Last Light. General Marcus was placed in charge of all defense planning. Bases were built around known Guardian sites. Old bunkers were reactivated. Weapons that had never been tested before were brought out of deep storage. "We don't have enough time," Marcus told his team. "But we have what no enemy expects: Guardians and human will." Dr. Mia was placed in charge of scientific coordination. She and her team worked around the clock to understand the ancient tech. Every scan revealed more questions than answers. "These beings," she said during a press meeting, "are not just machines. They're alive. Not like humans, not like aliens, but something in between." People across the world began preparing in their own ways. Some prayed. Some fled cities. Some joined Earth's new defense forces. But one thing was clear: no one doubted the warning anymore. The sky itself had changed. Above the Earth, near the northern lights, a massive circle of light had formed. No satellite had created it. It was not a cloud. It was a gate. Inside it, shadows moved, shapes beyond human understanding. "They're coming through," Mia whispered when she first saw it. "That's their entry point." Marcus nodded. "How long until they break through?" 3 days, maybe less. In the Amazon, the ancient structure hidden inside the jungle cracked open. From deep within, another guardian stepped out. Its armor was green, its face sharp and smooth like a mask. It looked at the sky and vanished in a flash. Now there were 3 guardians awake, and they were moving. One to the ocean, one to the desert, one to the mountains. Meanwhile, in deep space, the Alien War Council was no longer quiet. "They've activated the 3rd Guardian," said one of the leaders. "We can't wait any longer." The crowned commander stood tall. "Send the Reaper-class destroyers. Let them burn the Earth before the last ones rise." The room fell silent. Then, slowly, massive warships began to rise from the dark planet, each one larger than cities, covered in armor, armed with weapons that had ended worlds. Back on Earth, Dr. Mia received a strange file. It wasn't from any known source. It had no sender, no location. Just a message. "This is not the first time Earth has faced them. You were protected before. You will be tested now." Attached was a map, a hidden guardian site under the ruins of an old city buried in sand. Mia stared at it. "There's another one," she whispered. "And it's the key." She showed it to Marcus. "We need to get there before the enemy does." Marcus nodded. "Then pack your gear. We move in 6 hours." Far above them, the sky began to change color. Red clouds, thunder without sound. The Reapers were coming. Earth had only days left, and the real war was about to begin. The alien fleet floated above Earth, silent and still. Cities below were in chaos. People screamed, cars crashed, power grids failed. The sky was filled with fear. Every television channel showed the same thing. Huge black ships hanging like shadows in the sky. The world had never seen anything like this before. Inside Earth's secret military base, General Marcus stood in front of a giant screen. His face was hard, eyes sharp. He had seen wars before, but this was different. This was a war with something the world did not understand. "Why are they waiting?" he asked quietly. "Why haven't they attacked?" No one had an answer. In a hidden underground lab, Dr. Mia Chen was still trying to understand the strange message she had found. Scout warning, level 10. She kept reading the old file again and again. It was clear. Humans had seen this type of alien ship before. A smaller version had come years ago and was destroyed by a secret defense system. But that was never made public. Someone had erased it from history. She contacted General Marcus immediately. "This fleet, I think it's just a scout," she said, her voice shaking. "They're testing us, measuring our strength." Marcus looked at her, confused. "A scout? This many ships?" "They look powerful, yes," Maya said, "but their formation is tight. Their weapons are hidden. This is not an invasion. It's a test." Outside, one of the alien ships finally moved. Slowly, it lowered towards the Earth's surface, stopping above the ocean near Japan. It dropped something into the water. A dark sphere, glowing with red light. It sank into the deep sea without a sound. Within minutes, strange waves were picked up by sonar stations around the Pacific. The water temperature rose. Sea animals started fleeing the area. Submarines sent to check the object never came back. It was like something was building, or waking up. Meanwhile, far out in space, behind the alien fleet, the huge unknown object moved again. It had no shape that humans could understand. It looked like a shadow with energy pulsing inside. It was not sending signals. It was listening. Back on Earth, another signal appeared, not from the alien ships, but from Earth itself. It came from a place no one expected. An old military base deep in Antarctica, one that had been shut down for over 30 years. The signal was strong and clear, not a message, but a command. SKYSHIELD-KOD1. Cell EDPER SciStem, active. The moment that signal went out, 5 unknown satellites turned on. They had no names, no countries. They had been floating above Earth for decades, disguised as space junk. Now, their purpose became clear. They started scanning the alien fleet, not just scanning, targeting. Dr. Mia gasped as her computer picked up the data. "This isn't just defense," she whispered. "This is old tech, predecessor tech. This system, it's not ours." General Marcus turned to her. "What do you mean?" "I mean something, gave us this defense a long time ago. Maybe even before we were ready." The alien fleet noticed the change. They shifted positions. Lights blinked on their ships. Weapons hummed softly. For the first time, they looked nervous. On one of the alien bridges, the commander received a second message from the deep shadow beyond the fleet. The message was stronger now, filled with energy that hurt his mind. "Leave. This world is protected." The commander looked at his crew. "By who?" he asked, but no one answered. Just then, the 5 satellites fired a beam of blue light into the sky. The beams crossed in the upper atmosphere, forming a kind of web, a barrier. The alien ships tried to move, but their engines flickered. Something was jamming them. Then, the water in the Pacific exploded. A giant figure rose from the sea. Tall, shining, covered in armor made of strange, glowing metal. It wasn't human, but it wasn't alien either. It looked old, ancient, like a guardian. It looked up at the fleet. Its eyes glowed with fire. People on Earth watched from their screens, shocked and silent. The guardian raised one hand and pointed at the alien ship above Japan. Without warning, a bolt of white energy flew from its hand and hit the ship. The ship didn't explode. It vanished, completely, like it was erased from reality. The other alien ships started moving back, slowly. Fear had entered their minds for the first time. General Marcus stared at the screen. "What the hell is that thing?" Dr. Mia replied softly, "That is not our weapon. That's a warning." Far in space, the ancient shadow began to pull away, and Earth stood still, waiting to see what would happen next. The real war had not even started yet. The sky turned red over the Pacific Ocean. The strange circle of light above Earth had grown wider. It was no longer just a warning. It was a door. A dark shadow moved behind it, growing larger each hour. People across the world could feel it. Fear was rising. Airplanes were grounded. Ships returned to ports. Satellites recorded strange static in orbit. Something massive was coming, and fast. General Marcus stood in front of the international defense map, watching red dots blink across the screen. "They've entered orbit," he said. "Reaper-class ships. 4 of them." Dr. Mia looked up, stunned. "They're early." "No," Marcus said. "We're late." In space, the first Reaper ship passed the moon, silent and deadly. Its shape was unlike any alien craft seen before. Long, sharp, black as a starless sky. It didn't move like a ship. It moved like a creature, alive and hungry. Inside the Reaper, the alien commander stood tall, surrounded by fire-colored screens. "Begin the descent. Target the Guardian points first. Earth's defenders will die in silence." From the Reaper's lower side, small ships flew out. Hunter drones, each armed with weapons powerful enough to destroy a city block. Their first target, the Mariana Trench. Deep in the ocean, Guardian 1 waited. It had not moved in a day. But now it opened its glowing eyes. The water around it began to boil. Ancient codes lit up along its armor. It rose from the trench like a mountain waking from sleep. The Hunter drones reached Earth's atmosphere in minutes, speeding toward the ocean. Global defense systems locked onto them, but most human weapons couldn't match their speed. A few were hit, but many passed through. The first drone fired at the ocean. The sea exploded, but nothing appeared in the smoke. Then, in a flash of light, Guardian 1 broke through the surface, flying upward with unbelievable speed. Its arms turned into glowing blades. In one strike, it sliced through 3 drones. The battle had begun. Back on land, Dr. Mia and a small team boarded a stealth jet, heading toward the ancient ruins buried under the sand, the hidden site from the secret message. The desert was silent, hot, and endless, but under it, something waited. As the team landed, they saw the ruins, half-buried towers, old stone statues, strange carvings on broken walls. "It's here," Maya said. "I can feel it." Suddenly, the ground shook, the sand shifted, and a hand, metal, large and covered in glowing markings, pushed up through the ground. Another Guardian. Guardian 4. It climbed out of the sand slowly. Its body was slimmer than the others, its design more advanced. It didn't speak, but it looked directly at Mia. "You know me," she whispered. "You're the one who sent the map." The Guardian didn't answer, but it nodded. Once, then vanished into light. Above them, alarms blared in the jet. More drones were incoming. "Get down," a soldier shouted. 3 hunter drones dropped from the sky, firing energy blasts. The desert turned into fire and smoke. Maya ran for cover. One soldier was thrown back by the blast, gone before he hit the ground. Before the drones could strike again, Guardian 4 returned, a beam of light crashing into the desert. It grabbed one drone midair and crushed it in seconds. The other 2 tried to escape, but the Guardian fired a pulse from its chest, vaporizing them instantly. Maya stood up slowly. Dust and smoke surrounded her. The Guardian walked past her, scanning the ruins, then touched a stone wall. A secret door opened, leading deep underground. Inside the chamber was a sphere, glowing softly, floating in the air. The Guardian stepped back, letting Mia approach. "This is what you wanted me to find," she said. "But what is it?" Suddenly, a voice echoed from the sphere, calm, ancient, and powerful. "Earth must remember, the Guardians are not weapons. They are keys. Unlock them all will fall." The sphere dissolved into light and entered Mia's chest. She gasped and collapsed. The Guardian caught her and gently laid her down. Her eyes opened, glowing. She had changed. Back in the Pacific, Guardian 1 continued to fight, but more drones were coming. Then, just when the battle seemed too hard, a beam of light fell from the sky. Guardian 2 arrived, landing in the ocean like a meteor. Together, they turned the tide. General Marcus watched the live feed. "We're not losing," he whispered. "We're standing." But the Reapers hadn't shown their true power yet. In the alien mothership, the commander spoke. "Send in the Devours." Giant creatures, part machine, part monster, began to crawl out of the Reaper's lower deck. They were made to kill Guardians, and they were now heading to Earth. Time was running out, and Earth's final defense was about to be tested. The sky burned above Earth. 4 Reaper-class ships hovered in low orbit. Their shadows fell over the oceans and cities. From their dark underbellies, the Devourers dropped, massive creatures made of metal, bone, and pure hate, each one the size of a mountain, built for one purpose: destroy the Guardians. On every continent, alarms rang. Cities were evacuated. Entire armies moved into position. All of Earth's defenses were ready, but it still didn't feel like enough. General Marcus stood at the Global Command Center, eyes fixed on the screen. Red dots covered the globe. "This is it," he said. "The last stand." In the Pacific, Guardian 1 and Guardian 2 stood side by side, watching the water rise as a Devourer landed with a splash so loud it could be heard hundreds of kilometers away. The beast roared, a deep sound that shook the sea. The Guardians didn't hesitate. They attacked. Blades of energy clashed with claws of steel. The ocean turned into a battlefield. Every strike sent waves that could sink ships. One devourer tried to grab Guardian 1, but Guardian 2 fired a blast that tore through its side. On land, Guardian 3 appeared in the Andes Mountains. It faced a flying devourer that dropped from space like a meteor. The battle lit up the sky like fireworks. But Earth was still losing. More devourers kept coming. Then, from the desert, Guardian 4 arrived, with Dr. Mia flying beside it. She was no longer just human. Her body glowed faintly, and her voice carried power. She had become something new. Part Guardian, part human, part key. The ancient energy inside her spoke through her. You must unite them, all of them. Only together can they awaken the final Guardian. General Marcus heard her voice in his mind. So did every leader across the world. They gave the order. All forces support the Guardians. Air cover, tanks, drones, everything Earth had. A new battle began. Earth and Guardians side by side. Dr. Mia reached an ancient structure hidden beneath Greenland, a buried temple under the ice. Guardian 4 opened the door. Inside was a single pod, taller than the rest. It was silent. Still. Until Mia stepped forward. She touched it and whispered, "It's time." The ice cracked. The ground shook. Light shot into the sky. Across the planet, Guardians paused. Even the Reapers looked toward Greenland. The final Guardian was waking. From the ice rose something massive, far larger than any of the others. Its armor was pure white. Its eyes were gold. Its chest glowed like a star. This was the Prime Guardian, the first, the strongest, the protector of Earth's core. Dr. Mia floated beside it. Her voice echoed around the world. "This is our home. We will not fall." The Prime Guardian flew into the sky, faster than sound, straight toward the first Reaper ship. The Reaper fired its main cannon, a blast that could destroy a moon. But the Prime Guardian caught it, held it, then threw it back. The Reaper exploded in silence. The shockwave reached orbit. The remaining Reapers panicked. They sent all their devourers at once. Earth's sky turned black with enemy forces. But it was too late. All 5 Guardians were active, working together, linked through Mia, moving as one. One devourer was crushed under a mountain. Another burned in space. A third was torn apart by Guardian 2's twin blades. Still, Earth paid a price. Cities were damaged. Soldiers fell. General Marcus was injured during a base strike. He gave his last order through bloodied lips: hold the line. But humans kept fighting. Not because they were the strongest, but because they refused to give up. In space, the Prime Guardian reached the last Reaper ship. It pierced through the center like lightning. Inside, the alien commander finally understood. This world was never weak. He was the last to die. And with that, the war was over. The sky cleared. The light returned. The Reapers were gone. On the ground, people began to cheer. Around the world, strangers hugged. Children cried. Soldiers saluted the sky. The Guardians stood silently, watching, as if waiting for something. Dr. Mia, still glowing, landed in the middle of the global command base. General Marcus, now resting in a hospital bed, smiled when he saw her. "You did it," he said weakly. "No," she replied. "We all did." The Guardians turned to leave. One by one, they vanished into the light, returning to the places they came from. Sleeping again, waiting for when Earth might need them once more. The Prime Guardian was the last to go. Before disappearing, it looked at Mia and nodded. She nodded back. Then it was gone. The world was safe, but it would never be the same again. Humanity had faced the stars and won, and they would never be afraid of the dark again.